Okay. Assalamualaikum to Prof. Okay, my name is Muhammad Hafizuddin bin Harun. Okay, this is my team. First, Nahawa Akila binti Abdul Wahab, Ainu Samsi binti Muhammad, Ummu Atira binti Zulkifli, and Anissa binti Nofrizal. Okay, our title is Role of Arba Travel and Tours, COVID-19 Crisis on Tourism Activity and Organizational Performance. Okay, this is our table of content. There is 14 content in this slide. Okay, next is our title. Okay, our title is Role of Arba Travel and Tours, COVID-19 Crisis on Tourism Activity and Organizational Performance. Okay, next, issues. The COVID-19 pandemic has had several major negative impacts on the tourism industry. Arba travel and tours in the immediate and long terms. By now, the immediate consequences have become evident and reflected in the disrupted cash flow caused by abroad business closure following government lockout order. Okay, for the problem statement in this assignment is tourism is an integral part of many national economies, and the overall economy is affected by the immediate and immense shock to the tourism sector resulting from the coronavirus pandemic. The restriction on travel, business, practice and people-to-people contact have brought the tourism industry to a standstill as government around the world has adopted unprecedented steps to contain the virus. In the war against the virus, several countries are now entering a new phase while handling the reopening of the tourism industry at the same time. This is a dynamic and challenging job, and it is difficult to measure the effect on the tourist industry. Okay, next is organization and sector background. This company start their business on 2014, which is halal tourism. Rosniza and Shahrin research and prepare itineraries that include halal, friendly restaurant, prayer time, and prayer location. They have the operational base in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, and Seoul, South Korea. They also want to expand into Jakarta, Indonesia by 2019. In 2019, they will count among the top 50 small and medium enterprise in Malaysia, SME Corporation of Malaysia and Deloitte. They starting with 3 people and now they growing to over 50 full-time employees. Okay, next slide is their organization. As you can see, the Chief Executive Officer is Amar Rosliza. Chief Marketing Officer is Amiruddin Hamidun. The Chief Operation Officer is Ammar Shahrin, and Chief Tech Officer is Dr. Wan Muhammad Aizuddin Wan Muhammad. Okay, next is research objective. The first objective is to determine the planning and strategy that manager, also the worker and tourism industry must do to cover the income and worker salary during pandemic COVID-19. To know the alternative that tourism industry take to carry out the activities in the business. Okay, the last objective is to determine what is the activities that they need to come out after the COVID-19 and to maintain the business. Okay, next slide is research question. The research question is what planning should the tourism industry do to overcome the COVID-19 crisis? Next is how can the tourism industry help travel companies carry out their activities to tourists while pandemic is still ongoing? Last question is what is the main focus of the tourism industry that needs to be prioritized if the COVID-19 pandemic expires? Okay, next is research hypothesis. In this assignment, the research hypothesis is there is significant relationship between tourism activity and organizational performance. Okay, next is theoretical framework. The title in theoretical framework is conceptual frame on COVID-19 crisis on tourism activity and organizational performance. The defined variable in this theoretical framework is COVID-19, tourism activity and organizational performance. Okay, for the independent variable is tourism activity, which is marketing, traveling costs, and customer satisfaction. Okay, for the dependent variable is organizational performance. There is a lack of customer, tourism, product, and financial ability. Okay, next slide is research design. In this research, we use qualitative design. This type of research method involves describing in detail specific situation using research tools such as interview, survey, and observation. Okay, next is sampling frame. For sampling frame, we use two types, which is first foreigner and second is local tourists. Okay. Next slide is the population and sample. Okay, for the population, was chosen to study tourist population in a large group of person, object, and phenomenon in which researchers are interested to learn. The sample is to identify group of person, object, or phenomena that were selected for marketing and used to represent the total population. Okay, next is unit of analysis. First is individual as the unit analysis. We study on tourist perception and attitude of the individual. Next is we use that as unit of analysis. We identify the pair and the evaluate of husband and wife. In this research, we have to deal with 20 individual or more. Okay, the last slide is validity and reliability. Content validity extends to which the item and on a test are fairly representation. Example, taking the whole survey and making sure it measures with the topic. Next is in-term item consistency. The way to gauge how well a test or survey is actually measuring what you want it to measure. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.